Hello, welcome to Lucy's Big Beautiful World of Painting. I'm so excited today. I have Kyle Lee as my guest instructor. He came all the way here from Jasper, Florida to New Jersey. And I'm going to start off today by welcoming Kyle to the show. And welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming here today so far. And we're going to get painting in a minute. At first, I just want to show you a product that Kyle chose to use today from Sunbelt Manufacturing. It's a really wonderful canvas, very well made, and we're going to be using these canvases today. And we also are going to be using Gamblin oil paint. And Gamblin was kind enough to supply us with the paint for today's show. If there's anything else I forgot, I'm going to say it later on. I'm going to have Kyle start painting, and since he is my guest, I am going to be his student today. So I will follow along with him, and I suggest that you watch the whole show first, and then if you're going to paint along with us, get your supplies out, then come back and paint along with us, okay? So here we go, Kyle. I see you have a filbert brush in your hand, and we're just
Number 4 filbert.
Number 4 filbert. We're going to get started painting. Okay.
First thing we want to do, we're going to paint kind of like a beautiful little tree scene with a river in the background and a creek coming up front. Some beautiful backlit trees with some beautiful yellow leaves, and we're just going to get started. So the first thing we want to do is we want to mix up some Prussian blue.
Okay.
And a little bit of titanium white.
Alrighty. To
give us kind of just a light blue background.
Light blue. And we put a little of the medium on first.
We did. We used 60-40, 60% titanium white, 40% clear gel medium, just on the top half of the canvas and in the water where our little creek's going to be, just so the paint will move a little smoother.
Very good. We did that ahead of time, so that's all ready for us to go now.
Right. So what we're going to do is, this is how I measure off the distance on my canvas, whatever I want to do. So we're going to start about halfway, which will be right here, and we're just going to put a little line.
Okay.
Just like this, so we'll have an idea of where we want to go with our horizon line.
Alrighty.
And we're going to go back into that light blue mix, and we're just going to start in this motion, circular motion, and putting in some distant trees.
Alrighty, so we're just swirling this brush around?
Yeah, if you swirl it around like this, it'll leave little light patches.
Okay.
So it looks like the sky is kind of like coming through
I see. Okay.
Coming through the distant tree line. And we want to do this mostly on the right side of the canvas, because the left side is where we're going to have our yellow and white light with sunbeams coming across.
Okay, so on my left, left side of the canvas.
On your right, we want to come, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the right side of the canvas is where we want this. And as we work up the canvas, you don't really have to load a whole lot of paint anymore.
Okay.
We're just going to let what's in the paintbrush float up.
Gotcha.
Because if you're standing in nature and you're looking up, most of the time it's lighter at the top of the trees than it is at the bottom.
That's right.
So we're just going to let this float like this.
Okay.
It's not a very difficult painting.
Nope, it's easy enough so far.
Yeah.
Nice blue on there. Now, are you going to be doing the whole sky like this?
The whole, well, we're going to stop kind of right
over here.
We'll have like a third, maybe a quarter of the canvas left where we're going to put in our sky.
Right, so this way it's lighter on there.
Yeah, now there will be just a hint of blue over here.
Okay.
But we're going to calm that yellow down, so when we put the yellow and white on here, it doesn't turn green.
Very good.
Because yellow and blue, as we all know, makes green.
That's right.
It's a primary color, so if you touch yellow to blue, you're going to get a green. But we calm that yellow down with a little bit of red.
Oh, good. All right. So we're going to be using a lot of nice colors today.
Yeah.
And the colors will be listed as we use them. This way everybody can get their colors out at home, whoever wants to paint along with us. All righty.
And when we're done with that.
Yep. And you can just go right ahead, and I'll just kind of catch up as I'm watching you.
Oh, you're doing fine. Looks good.
Thank you.
We just want to take and just kind of smooth the heavy spot. When I say heavy, this is nice and even. This is kind of heavy right here. We got a little heavy on the darks.
Okay.
So we're just going to blend this out a little bit.
All righty.
We'll be doing most of this painting with one brush, the filbert brush.
Wow.
If I had to choose, if someone looked at me and said, Kyle, you only get one brush to paint with the rest of your life, it'd be a filbert brush.
Nice.
Because you can paint clouds, trees, land, water, birds, animals.
I like to do daisies with the filbert too.
Yeah,
even flowers
filbert
and
brush
all.
is my favorite brush.
Alrighty.
That looks about good right there.
Very good. Okay.
Now all we want to do, you don't even have to clean your brush.
Okay.
We can go into the black because we want to make this blue just a tad darker. So we'll get a touch of black, bring it down to our pile.
Okay.
A little more white to lighten it.
Okay. So we're making like a gray blue kind of color?
Kind of like a gray blue, yeah.
All right. And looks like I got my brown that kind of moved on over there, but that's okay.
That's okay. Now what we're going to do is it's the stroke that matters a lot.
Okay.
So we're going to hold our brush like this, and we're just going to come up here, and we're just going to move this around a little bit. Try to make the indication of like some little trees, some little bushes.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be precise because we're really going to blend this out.
All righty.
Or not blend it out, but we're going to go over it lightly.
And you're using a really light touch?
Really light touch.
Because
Yeah,
I see when I started,
touch.
I already pushed a little too hard, so I'm going to start
That's
to
okay.
lighten up a little on that.
Just a light touch.
Very good.
You don't have to go too far with it because we're going to have a big tree here and a big bush here, so our focal point is going to be right in the center of the painting.
Okay.
So you don't really have to go too far with this.
Okie dokie.
Just a little indication of some shadows.
Okay.
About
Great.
like that.
Yep. Very nice.
Now we're going to take that same blue mix, a little more white, a little more blue, and we're going to put our reflections in the water down here. It's not a really big area of reflection right now,
Okay.
but we do need to have it. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this down right here.
Okie dokie.
And then you can flip your
Nice.
brush over and just come down like this to smooth all that out really well.
Okay. And I have some gray in there. I have
Yeah, you have a variety of colors in there.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe just
Very
a
nice. I
little
think
bit
I'll
more.
take a little paint off my brush there. I can see you're using a little less paint than I am. I got a little heavy on the paint there.
Yeah, paint control is important.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get to go and I get excited about painting and I get lost in my own little world.
Yeah.
When I'm at home, I'll go in my studio and paint, and the next thing I know, 4 hours has rolled by. My wife's calling me for dinner and I'm starving. Okay, now we'll take our mop brush.
Okay. Oh, I should mention we're using the Wilson Bickford signature line of paintbrushes today. And we have some nice new brushes here. I love new brushes.
And we're going to start in the sky. Always start in your lightest area first. Don't go in your darks and then go back in your lights, because then you'll be hating life. So we're just going to gently go across this sky. Kind of get a nice blend to the whole thing.
Okay, and we're using a little bit of an X stroke here.
Yep, X stroke.
Yeah.
That's pretty much universal when you go to put in a sky, or you need to blend anything. You just X stroke it.
There we go. I love this mop brush, nice and fluffy.
It is. It's very smooth. I like that.
Yeah.
And then we go across our darks.
Okay.
Get a little hair.
Yep. Yep, the new brushes, sometimes the hair come out,
Yeah,
but that's
they'll bleed
okay.
on
Just
you.
flick
That's
them right
okay.
up.
Just
I
flip
think
them
I
right
have
up.
one over here, so I just flick it right up, wipe it on a paper towel, and that hair is gone.
And we go over our darks really well.
Okay.
And then, once we have that done, we'll take our water and we'll pull it down as best we can.
Okay.
Just like that. Kind of get a nice, smooth little,
There we go.
and then we'll go across like this. Try to give that reflection a little more help.
And across. Okay.
I'm just trying to work this paint down a little bit.
Yeah, mine moved a little bit easier there because I had a little bit more than you did. And
That's
then
okay.
we had that medium underneath there too, which helps.
Yeah, that medium really helps. It helps the paint move real nice and smooth on the canvas.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll put our mop brush down. We'll use the same filbert brush with the blue and the black on it.
Okay.
And we're going to touch into just a little bit of Sap Green.
Sap Green.
Just a little bit. As a matter of fact, if you see my palette here, I'll have 2 different areas of mixing.
Okay.
Because I may want to go back into my darks or I may not.
Okay.
So I'll come down here to the lighter part and I'll just mix up this green.
Okay. So you mixed it up with a little bit of that blue we had left
right
over?
in that same dirty pile.
Okay.
A little bit of blue, a little bit of green.
Good.
Now what we want to do is we want to give the indication of some tree limbs or leaves in the background. And we're also going to go over that to smooth it out. We just want the indication of it in the background, not a lot of detail. So I'll just flick this on kind of loosely.
And are you just going over the darker area of it?
Yep.
Where we just did, right? The dark area.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
We don't need a lot of this. Just enough to give us some type of indication.
Now I can see this painting starting to take more shape here, because now it kind of looks like that tree back there.
Yeah, just a little indication, you know, make you some tree shapes. It doesn't have to be perfect because, like I say, this is not the focal part of the painting.
Right. Okay, very good.
And then we'll take our mop brush.
Okay.
And we'll just blend over that lightly. Kind of push it all in the background.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, that's coming along pretty good.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay, now we'll go back into that same green pile. Get us some blue.
Okay.
And a touch of burnt umber, the brown.
Yep. And I had mine sliding over there as it was.
Yeah. If you get a tube of paint and when you open it and you go to put it on your palette and oil comes out, that's typically not good, but don't throw the paint away.
Got to mix it.
Yep, mix it up, or you can get a cardboard, put it on the cardboard, and the cardboard will soak up the oil. Yeah.
Very good.
So now what we want to do, I want to check and make sure that this is dark enough before we go any further.
Okay.
But we need to put some land because we don't want our trees and our sky floating on nothing.
That's right.
So I'll hold the brush this way and I'll just, that's good. And I'll just drag it across like this. On the side of the brush. Hardly ever will I, anyway, use a paintbrush like a pencil because it cuts through the paint and exposes the canvas and it doesn't transfer the paint very well.
Okay.
So there's our land.
And right across the water area between the land and the trees, right? We're cutting that right off.
Just cutting that right off.
Very good.
And I'll even take some of this little brown and I'll get real close and I'll just lift up. Just to give like little grass indications in the back.
Okay. Little extra detail.
A little extra detail. It's just an illusion.
An illusion,
Yeah,
right.
most of our detail will be in the foreground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And then I'll take a little bit of this and I'll drag it across here because you know even land reflects into the water. So I'll drag that across there like that.
Okay.
And then we take our mop brush and we'll blend that water. Not so much to wipe out the reflection, but just enough to, let me step back. Yep, I like that.
Okay, good. Okie dokie, yep, very good.
Now we're going to take our number 10 flat brush. And we're going to come over here, we're going to get us some white, like this, and we're going to move it to a different section of the palette.
Okay.
Let up a pretty good amount.
Alrighty.
And we'll get a touch of the Hussein light yellow and go right into that same pile.
Just a touch of that yellow.
Yep, just a touch.
So you want just a pale, pale yellow.
Pale, pale yellow. I got a little too much, so I'm going to
I
add a
did
little
that
bit.
too. Just as you said that, I did the same thing. So I'm just going to move mine over.
Yeah, it's easy to overload.
Yep, with that yellow. Okay.
Especially with these neutral colors or these primary colors like that, because they'll just eat up a white.
Yep. Okay.
Put a nice light yellow.
Yep.
And we're going to put just a touch of red.
Alrighty.
Because what that red will do is it'll kill some of this yellow. So when we touch the sky, it won't be green.
Okay. And this is a cadmium red, I think, right? Is this a cadmium red
Yes,
light?
it's cadmium red.
Okay.
Cadmium red, Hussein light.
So we're getting like a peachy
cadmium
color?
red, Hussein light, yellow ochre, sap green, burnt umber, Prussian blue, ivory black, titanium white.
Okay. So we're getting like a peachy color.
Right, peachy color.
Okay, good.
So we're going to lay in this peachy color,
All right.
and this will be our sunlit area coming across the sky.
So a little crisscross motion back there?
Yeah, a little crisscross.
Just a little bit so it doesn't turn green, right?
Yeah. I mean, it may
Okay.
have a greenish hue to it, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah, that's okay. All
And then we'll
right.
wipe our brush off a little bit, go back into that yellow, and then we'll just lay it on the side like this, and we'll drag it across the whole dark. Flip your brush over when you do this because you don't want to contaminate that white.
Okay. I'll flip it over and
We'll wipe our brush out, go back in.
Got it.
And we'll do 1 or 2 more of these and then we'll move on.
Very nice. Couple sunbeams.
Yeah, a couple sunbeams.
So it's a sunbeam next to each other, or
Yeah,
just kind of one
they're
going
kinda-
right through?
They're kind of laying right next to each other.
Oh, so I should do another one next to it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do 2 or 3.
Alrighty.
And then we'll take our mop brush and we'll just lightly drag that across to kind of blend out that. Now you really can't see it right now, but once we get the foreground in, you'll be able to see it really well.
Very good.
And we will take our filbert brush.
All right.
We'll mix up some black
Black.
and some brown. About half and half, 50-50.
All
It'll
right.
have a little bit of blue in it, but that's not going to hurt anything.
Yep. Pretty dark color we're looking for right
Yeah.
now.
And then we'll take it and we'll put in our land, which will be right about in here.
Okay.
And then we'll come over here, raise it up a little bit, and we'll bring this one down right about there.
Okay. Right over the water.
Right over the water.
Alrighty. So I'm
And then
gonna
we
line
just
up a
block
bit.
this in. And it'll come kind of like this.
All right. I'm going to get my other side on here.
And we'll bring that around, something like
So
that.
we're just kind of drawing this on for now, just to kind of make a
Yeah.
land shape. And I guess
Make
it
an
doesn't
interesting
matter if it's
shape.
a little different, the land shape.
No, 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 no.
Either way the land goes.
It's your canvas, however you want to paint it.
Very good.
It's your world, make it what you want to make it. And then we'll just fill this in real quick.
Okay. So then we're just going to scrub it in with black and brown.
With black and brown.
Okay.
There'll be a little bit of blue in there, but that's okay. That's not
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, I like to have a little bit of blue in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll take a few minutes and scrub this in.
Yeah, we'll scrub
Very
this
good.
in really well.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I see yours a little darker than mine. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm just, the
Yep.
closer you get to the foreground, the darker you want it to be.
Okay. That's good for perspective. I'm just going back and forth between my brown and the black.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. A little bit of brown, a little bit of black.
Very good. I like that sunbeam. Looks pretty good there.
Yeah.
So now here we didn't put that medium, so this way it doesn't
Yeah,
whiten
it doesn't flow
whiten
as
it.
well, but
Yeah.
I mostly use a medium in the sky and in the water.
Yeah,
On the
that's what I
land and
do.
in trees and stuff, I don't use it.
Yep, very good.
And then we'll just fill in this other side real fast.
Right,
Now, just to
okay.
get the, just to get this in, we need to put a little bit of this in the water in the back. I thought our land would be able to cover that up a little bit more, but
Okay.
it didn't. But that's okay, because it's going to be behind the tree.
Alrighty. So is this more land kind of in the back there?
No, it's water.
Oh, it's darker. Okay.
It's just a little darker.
like a shadow in there.
Yeah, like a
Okay,
shadow.
Gotcha.
A little bit of white.
Alrighty. Yeah, so it'd be like a shadow water.
Be like a shadow water, yeah.
Very nice. And I didn't even clean my brush. I just went right in there and
I did too.
yeah.
It's okay.
That's what's great about this. You don't really
Yeah.
have to clean the brushes.
No, you just paint.
And we're using just the one brush, and we just speed it up. We didn't have to use that big brush. We just kind of wanted to speed up.
Yeah. No,
For
you
sake
didn't
of
have to use
time
the
and-
big brush, but we did because of, time restraints. But
Yeah, very good.
when you're at
Okay.
home and you're in front of your easel, you paint as long as you want to paint.
That's right.
Okay, now we're going to clean our filbert brush a
Alrighty.
little bit thinner.
Okay. I'm gonna dip a wipe, dip wipe. That's the best way. We dip a wipe, get some off there, then put it back in the bucket, and then swish it around on the screen there. Alrighty.
Now, we're going to a little bit of our yellow and white mix that we made for the sunlight. We're going to add a little bit more yellow to it.
Okay.
Now we're going to work on our backlit leaves.
Okay, great. A little more yellow, and I had a little pile there with a little more yellow in it already, so I'm
Yeah.
already set to go.
And basically, we just want to do like a little flick here and there.
A little flick.
Yep, just to give an indication of some leaves.
I see.
Leaving your sky, leaving little holes for your sky.
Okay. And you're going right through the sunbeam there?
Yeah, right through the
Right
sunbeam.
through the sunbeam. Okay.
But staying off of this, we don't want to go into the center of the painting.
Okay.
because these leaves are but they're backlit. In other words, the sun is shining. It's hitting the back of these leaves.
Okay, gotcha. Good.
And then we'll come over here to the other side where we're going to put our other tree, and we'll do the same thing.
Okay.
And we'll start about right here, off of the center of the painting.
All
And
right.
we'll just throw these little backlit leaves.
Looks like some nice bright sun coming through.
Yeah.
I got hair there. I'll flick that right off. Wipe off my brush and get that off there. Very good.
And if you go into your green a little bit, if you get a little green in there, it's okay, because we're about to go to a different color.
Sure. Okay.
Now we'll take a little bit of our green, go into that same yellow pile, because we want a nice transition from the white back to the darks.
Okay.
So we'll get a little bit of green color in there.
All righty.
Still lit by the sun. And then we'll work this around as we go back a little bit.
Really starting to look like some trees back there.
Yeah. Do that to the same
To the
on the other
tree.
side.
Good. Very nice. Very good.
Now, before we get carried away, we're going to get that same black and brown mix,
Okay.
and we're going to put our tree in. And we're
There
going
we
to
go.
say it
Gonna-
comes right about here.
I'm just wiping my brush then. I don't even have to.
No, you don't even have to
Oh, okay. So
wash it.
Oh, I just put it in some blue. That's okay. I'm going to move it over
That's
into that
okay.
black. Some
And we'll
brown.
make like a little tree limb that comes off right there.
Oh, I see. So you're making a big tree over here.
Yeah, it's not too big.
All right.
Could be
So I
bigger,
see you
but-
made 2 lines and then you fill it in, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, see, so
Just
that's
real
a different
simple.
different than how I do it. Yep.
Yeah, it's just real simple. It's not very
Very
hard.
good. So you can make the 2 lines there, or I just come in there and push that brush down and make a big old tree
That's
there.
right. You can do it however you want to do it.
Yeah, that'd be good if we can get a tree in to show everybody, and then get some,
Leaves. and-
you know, get the rest of the water in there. Just a little lesson today, so everybody can see
Yeah.
how we do different paintings, different times,
Right.
different people. Okay. Very good. And you put a little limb in there,
Put a little limb.
and you did it on the corner of the filbert, and just kind of
Yep.
push that out.
Corner of the filbert, just kind of push it out.
Very good. Okay.
And now before we go any further, we'll go get some straight sap green.
Okay. And I'm wiping my brush a little bit. It's had a
Yeah.
lot of dark color on here. Straight sap.
Yep. And then we'll just start putting these little tree leaves.
So you're just kind of dotting and moving
Kind
it
of
around.
dotting, making a comma stroke, or
Oh, just whichever way.
yeah, whichever way
Very good.
you think you can make a tree limb or leaf,
Leaf, yeah.
whichever way.
Okay. And we're doing all around the whole tree, kind of?
All around the whole tree, kind of, yeah.
Very nice. And I can see that I got dark and light and dark and light. I'll just let the
Yeah.
paint go off the brush there. Good. Because while we have a few minutes, we can get some of this tree on and put some of that water in.
Yeah, that would be nice. And then as you work away from the light, you want your leaves to get a little darker.
A little
so you add
darker.
a little black to it.
Okay.
Doesn't take much.
All right.
Now, when your audience is at home, they can take their time with this, and it's just a reference idea of what they can do.
Right. Of how to get the look of
Yeah, the
and the
look.
perspective of it, with the lighter trees in the back, the sunbeam going through.
Yeah, makes for a very pretty little
All
painting.
right. So then we would do some of this tree here, and very nice. And we could always go back to that tree. How are we going to put this water in there while we only have a couple minutes?
Well,
Want to try to get the lesson out, and then we can always go back and put a little bit
basically,
more
you
in.
just go into some green, some black, because you know the tree has green in it. So then we'll just throw it into the water,
Oh.
leaving a little bit of white for the light to come down.
Oh,
You may want
okay.
to pick up your landscape 1 inch.
Oh, so we're going to put a little light in here, and then this is all going to be dark in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, but a little more green, you said,
A little more
right?
green, yeah.
A little more green.
A little more green.
Okay. I see. So a little more green in the foreground, and you said in here will be a little bit of white.
And then you just
Very
work it
good.
across.
Yep. So now this is kind of the water, but it's the land in the water.
It's the land. It's the reflection of the land in the water.
In the water.
That's right.
So it's like a big shadow from that land.
That's correct.
Ah, okay. And I can see the difference between that land and that water. Mm-hmm. Very good. And scrub that right in there. Well, now I'm really starting to see it. It's coming to life now.
Yeah.
Very nice.
If we had more time, it would have been.
Yeah, it's you know, in this in my show, we like to at least try to get beginners involved, so
That's
they can.
That's fantastic. Everybody should paint.
Yep, so they can learn a little, and you know, it's hard to do a big painting in you know 28 minutes, but if we can get a lesson out to everybody, that's what we're looking for.
Something to that effect.
Very good.
And then if you want to throw in like some water lines, you can just take a little bit of that green and white, and you can.
Oh, and I see you kind of went across it a little bit too.
Yeah, just go across the middle of it.
Yep, very good.
You know, like a sheen of light going across.
Yep, gotcha. Oh, that was a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Put in the side and then kind of. Very nice.
Yeah,
okay.
just go across it like that.
Very good.
Kind of give you a little sheen of light.
Very good.
And then for ideas, you know, you could put a bush where I had it. There was a bush right here.
Right.
With the backlit leaves, and it's, you know, you just have to work your transitions back, and then you can highlight your tree. I mean.
Right, and you would put. Would you be putting anything else in this in the ground or anything? Or?
In the original painting I did, I had a little fence.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and one in the back.
And a little fence you put in.
Little fence, some
All right.
highlights.
Oh, I see. So you just can come in and put a little fence in.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do.
Very good. And your highlights on the tree, just so we can show our viewers. How did you do your highlights on those trees there?
I took my fan brush with a little bit of white.
Okay.
A little bit of brown. Just enough to make like a light tone brown.
Okay.
And I tapped the filbert or the fan brush into the painting.
Okay.
And I just come up here. And I just start putting them on.
Okay, so we're just tapping in some.
Yep, just tapping them in.
And this I know will make a big difference because we'll be able to see the depth in that tree.
Yep, and then you just work it back. The more you work it back, the lighter it'll get.
Oh, okay.
And then you can take your number 1 landscape brush and you can just brush that out.
Oh, okay, good. So it looks like it's like on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because I had a big tree in there. Very good.
And then to give yourself cast shadow or backlit shadow, you just go into some blue and white.
Okay.
And you can back cast the sunlight on that tree.
Oh, good idea. Okay, so you just wipe the
So it
water
kind
off
of makes
a
it
bit.
look three-dimensional. Yeah.
And a little blue, a little white. I had a little brown in there, but I guess that's okay. If we do it on the side just to
as long as you're using all the colors that you started off with in the painting, so it'll harmonize.
Right. So we have color harmony in the painting, and I can see how you can come in and put even highlights here and there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap it up for today, and I would like to thank you so much for sharing this painting with us,
Thank
Kyle,
you for
and
having
for
me.
coming from Florida. And if anybody wants to take a peek at our Facebook pages, mine is Lucy's World of Painting, and Kyle, yours is Kyle Lee
Studios on Facebook.
Okay, on Facebook. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.